YouTube or Facebook or somewhere, and you saw miracles happening as I was working with people and sharing the MM method, as they were just in a few seconds changing something that has been holding them back their entire lives. That's that's what lights me up. And change can happen very quickly, but actually often, and I've seen this, and I've seen people able to hang on to the change. But more often than not, when a miracle happens, people can't accept that it's actually happened, and they go back to their old thinking and their own ways, old ways. And actually, it's weird. It's like there was I'm not a big Bible reader at all, but this just jumped at me right now, and that was that when Jesus used to do his healings, and I think there was a guy that came and crutches and he couldn't walk, and he was healed. He could then walk, and one of the things that he was told was, don't go telling people about this. Don't go, saying, oh look, just live. And the reason for that is because it's really weird. I don't know why this is coming out today. It's not, it's not part of the Lenses session. It's not planned, but it just popped because, often we can be the person that stands. Thank you. We are the person that can stand in our own way. But then all we need is one person to back up those doubts, and we're like, boom. So, and actually now I know where we're going with this, where I'm going with this. I'm like, why am I talking about this? So, the importance of a tribe, of coming to these calls, of showing up. I even have days, hours, moments where I'm like, I just want to hide under the duvet. And then I come on these calls and it's like, yay! I love you guys. I love seeing your changes. And I also love when you just remember that it's taking one baby step after another. That's all it is. And when we're taking those steps, we're taking action. We're taking action. And we have the MM method, the re-sparking those neural pathways, which happens on the Wednesday call often, big change process. It would usually be that or something. Well, that and something else, or that and or something else, another change process. And then on these calls where, you really kind of break down what you'd love to create in, say, 6 months to a year, right down into the days. So that, you might have a wobbly day. Sometimes actually there's nothing like a duvet day. And I think often it's, what are we telling ourselves about us having a duvet day? Because actually you can just really enjoy it. Order takeout, watch Netflix, watch Gaia. Oh, Gaia, even better. Do whatever. Like, really enjoy it, rather than like beating yourself up, going, oh, look at her. How are you defining yourself if you need that time out? And we all need that. And you get back up on the horse the next day. I always remember someone saying, yeah, I only ever give myself 24 hours of that. And it really stuck with me. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be that long. I'm not recommending that, but I just thought that was really cool. Anyway, someone needed to hear that today, I guess. Someone needed to hear that today. Thank you. Yeah, when I was tuning in this morning, I just kept getting me in peachy orange. So I automatically headed in that area in the wardrobe. Thank you. So, lenses. So, if you have your lenses in front of you, fantastic. If not, it is in what I'm now referring to as the back office, which is Samcart. We've tried many, many, many different, Kajabi, all these different places to store our trainings, and I'm really happy with Samcart now. And if you go into Samcart and the lenses call, you will see the PDF that you can either download onto your computer or print out. And I said this to someone yesterday, I think you might be on the call today, that lenses is a journey. When I did this training many, many years ago, I noticed a lot of people getting very frustrated and a lot of people having a lot of resistance around lenses, but then other people were loving it and creating loads, and it was their yay, and they couldn't wait to do it. And I always remember one of my teachers back then saying, lenses is a journey. It's a journey. And I'm, even years later, I'm still on that journey. My morning routine changes a lot. So it's great that you're here, or even, and hello everyone that's watching the replay. Hello. Thank you for being live as well. Thank you for being alive at this time. This crazy ass time on the planet. We've got some change to create. Yeah, just by creating a life we adore. Isn't that wonderful? It doesn't have to be any kind of worthy, I'm going to save the world. You create a life you adore, and you're not only inspiring others, but your sparkle, your glow goes out to, it ripples out, that ripple effect. So I'm just looking at the Samcart to let you know. I know that new people, I did say it would be really, really great if you can watch. Yeah, lenses is lesson 2. And it's there that you'll see the PDF as well. And I'm going to share my screen anyway, so that you see the document that I'm talking about, and what on earth I am talking about. Okay. So get your lenses document out if you've got it, whether it's printed out or you've got it, on your computer. And what was I going to say? And I know that someone had a question about lenses as well. So this is the place to ask any questions that you have about lenses. So you can see me and you can hear me, hopefully. I can't see you, but chat is where we communicate. Hello. So, keep chatting and keep communicating in there. I might not see your question absolutely immediately when you put it up, but I will see it in divine time. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen in a momentito. And I'll need you to tell me if you can see my screen. Okay, share screen. How you doing out there? Are you with me? All right, so let me know. Can you see the lenses PDF, the page that says lenses, turning vision into reality? Please let me know that you can see that. Thank you, darlings. So what we're going to do first is we are going to just connect with each one of your 4 core orientational choices. Now, these are the choices that these are 4 choices that all of us share. And you will also have your own individual choices that you create once you move along the program, or if you've been doing this for a while, you've already got them. And sometimes they change as well, the things that are dear to your heart. But these orientational choices, they are, as it says on the label, they orientate you. Okay, they're not the kind of choices that you would tick off. Deal done. I've done that. I can now work on another choice. These are choices that are with you always, and they orientate you. They direct you. So, what I recommend, and we'll talk about morning routines in other sessions. But what I recommend, especially if you're just beginning, and if you've been doing the work for a while, you'll know I rant on about your morning routine quite a lot. My morning routine starts the night before, by going to bed early, turning all the screens off, getting a book, just really chilling out so that I can have a really good night's sleep, so that I'm already primed for an amazing morning and an amazing morning routine. But reading out my choices, starting with my orientational choices, is one of the first things that I do. Okay, I'm not usually hungry for a while in the morning, so if you are, I do recommend that you hydrate and maybe do a bit of exercise to get the heart going. Because when you've got a happy heart, because when you exercise, obviously your heart speeds up, and you can't be depressed in that physiological state. So they're just some elements of the morning routine. But reading these out and doing what we're about to do now is something that I highly recommend. Okay, so the first one, I choose the end result. I should say I adore, actually, but anyway, I choose the end result of living the life I adore, or living the life that I love. So I want you to close your eyes and just take a moment and step into that reality. So take some nice deep breaths down into your belly so that you're nice and centered. That also slows the mind down. It's got a gazillion benefits. Slow, deep, conscious breathing. But it slows your heart down, it slows the mind down. Allows you to access your imagination. And that is the gateway to your intuition. So maybe if you're sitting cross-legged, that's great. If you're not, I recommend that you put your feet on the ground, so you're kind of grounding, maybe spine straight. So just getting in a meditation position that really serves you. So just stepping into the end result. What will you be feeling when you have a life you adore? Allow yourself, just see yourself experiencing that. And if you can't imagine that, imagine yourself imagining it. So, what's letting you know that this is true, that you have a life you adore? What are you doing? Allow yourself to get into the emotion of this end result. And you might want to jot this down, or feel free, yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments, or just jot it down on your own journal or device. Or you might just want to stay in that end result. So, what's happening in your life? What are you doing? Who's there? What are you feeling? How does that feel? Yeah, actually stay inward, stay in. If you want to jot it down on your own things, that's great. But allow this to be an inward experience, and we can share in a moment. Nice. You might notice what a day is like when you have a life you adore. What's your day like? Who's with you? What are you doing? What are you eating? How are you loving yourself? How are you talking to yourself? Good. I can already feel vibrations changing. All right, so we're going to bring that one to a close. So now, the next one, I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. Such a powerful choice. So allow yourself to get into the emotion of that end result. So the end result is you being the predominant creative force in your life, because we're always creating. And when we are the predominant creative force in our own lives, we're creating what we love, we're creating what we're focused on. So allow yourself to notice, to see yourself experiencing that end result, being the predominant creative force in your own life. What's that like? How does that feel? How does that feel? And keep bringing yourself back to the breath. If the mind comes in and gives you the old story, the old monkey mind, just go, thank you. Because we're not fighting the ego here. We're taking the ego along, holding its hand, taking it along on the journey with us. Sometimes it's just a scared inner child. If that resonates, I have a meditation that you'll love. So just allow yourself to notice what it's like to be the predominant creative force in your own life. What lets you know that this is true, that this is your reality? Nice. So we're going to bring that one to a close. Nice deep breaths. And now I choose the end result of being healthy. I choose the end result of being healthy and vital. I choose the end result of being healthy. Wow, what is that like? What are you feeling? Just notice yourself experiencing that. Notice how you look, notice your energy. What lets you know that this is true, that you've manifested this end result? Just allow yourself to just almost surrender, fall back into this beautiful, juicy reality of being healthy and vital, full of energy, vitality. What are you feeling? What are you doing? You might notice sometimes people get an idea about an action to take or a bridge when we're going through these. So just notice, oh, okay, it's interesting. Maybe I want to start doing that. So write it all down. Or just note it so that you can write it down afterwards. It's up to you. Sometimes there are things to write down and sometimes there are not. Achieve the end result of being healthy and vital. Now, yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Even just doing this exercise raises your vibration and connects you into good health. It's a deeper. We started a beta training, the second round of a beta training yesterday, to teach people um, all about the field and neuroscience, and how even just doing this activates and brings to you a different reality than where you've been. I'm teaching people how to do the respark aspect of the MM method, because a lot of people were, having really, really, really amazing results, and they wanted to learn it in a few weeks. So it's a 3 to 4 week program, and it's really powerful. We go very deep into all the neuroscience and the neuroscience and the fields, as Dr. Lynn McTaggart and Bruce Lipton, and very similar to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, actually. But you don't have to sit and meditate for 2 hours a day or go on 10-day retreats. But we're already seeing some incredible results, really, really, really powerful. So you're doing this is not just positive thinking or woo woo. That's really where I'm circling around to. This is deep shamanic and alchemical work combined with cutting edge epigenetics and neuroscience. The epigenetics aspect of it is quite incredible, in that we are not our genes, and that's what the respark does. It actually changes your DNA, your neural pathways. So yeah, thank you. Good observation. It absolutely, just by doing this, it absolutely does change your health. Your being. You become one with what you want to create, and that's the whole thing I'm teaching. All right. So the next one, let's let that one go. I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. So, what does that look like for you? You're living your true nature and purpose. So, just get into the emotion of that end result. Just notice, how does that feel? And see yourself really experiencing that. Notice what's happening in your life. What are you doing? What's different? How do you feel? What lets you know that this result is true? What lets you know that this is true? That you are living your true nature and purpose. And you might get images, you might get the essence of a life. You might see, again, get a bridge, an action to take. Oh, okay, interesting. This is what I see myself doing. So you're becoming one with these end results. And if you're new, or even if you're not new and you're finding this challenging, just stay with it. Remember, lenses is a journey. This work is an adventure and a journey. All right, beautiful. Well done, everyone. So they are your 4 Whoops. Orientational choices. Let me know in the chat box on the Facebook group and in Meeting, wherever you're joining me from. How was that? How do you feel now? We've been on the call quite a while because we have, but that was 8 minutes that we were doing that. How are you feeling now? Good. Sparkling. Yeah, I can take on the world better. Good, good, good. How are you doing? Who hasn't replied? Come on, play full out. You know, one of my coaches, well, actually, loads of my coaches used to say, the way you do something is the way you do everything. I'm not sure I agree with that, but there is some truth in it. But I do believe it's kind of like a magical fridge, you know? What you put into the fridge is what you get out. And when you play full out in this work, what you put in, you get a lot more out. So play full out. Yeah, it absolutely takes focus. Yeah, that's a beautiful realization. And, again, it's that whole thing of know thyself. Know thyself. And never beating up on ourselves, because that just keeps us in that loop. But just, oh, okay, cool. Embrace. And the more that you embrace it, the more that it doesn't have to hide in the shadows and play up, be naughty, the more that actually you can take your power and your talents and gifts from that fear and transform it. This is alchemy. This is what alchemy is. So beautiful work, everyone. So now we're going to look at the orientational choices. And I know that many of you have not got your true choices yet, that you haven't got to that stage in the training, but that's okay. You can either think about what you love to create in 6 to 12 months time, and then get to the training, or stay focused on those true choices, those orientational choices that we just looked at. But for those of you who do have your choices, you want to just get your choices out. And I recommend not more than 6 when you're starting out. But these are the 6 that you are absolutely 100% committed to manifesting, to creating. So let me just remind you that end result may be material or non-material, but all that matters is that you can recognize the end result once you've created it. That's where they're different to the orientational choices. The orientational choices are a way of directing your 3 memories, your 3 levels of consciousness towards where you are going, where you want your levels of consciousness to go. And remember, the levels of consciousness are, number 1, the superconscious that has been with us through all time and space. Number 2, the unconscious that comes in the 3rd trimester. And then the self-conscious, which comes in around age between 4 and 7 years old. Some people call that the ego. And if you feel that this work might be a battle, or that sometimes it is a battle, and you doubt yourself, this is all you need to do, is to start the day reading out your choices. Because what that does, it's like a boat, a ship. You're directing the sails, the captain, and the crew, so that that entire ship is headed in the direction you want to go, i.e., your version of heaven on earth. And that doesn't have any religious connotations or anything. It's just what you would love to create, a life you adore. So simply by reading, going, connecting with these choices, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. It's so powerful. So that end result of your true choices is tangible, specific. You can tick these off. So make sure that you're choosing an end result that you do want, not a process towards a result. For instance, I choose the end result of going to the gym every day. No! And this is weirdly enough a choice that I've just ticked off. Let me read it for you, actually. Hold on, I'm going to have to put my headphones down a sec. Hang on. I started to get really, really out of shape, even before COVID hit. And I didn't even notice it. Like, all my friends were hinting at me, my family hinting, not gently or subtly, brutally. And that went on for a few years, And I'm really, really, really pleased to say that I was able to tick this choice off. So this was the choice that I had. I choose the end result of my sexy, fit goddess body. I wanted to be able to feel good in a flipping bikini again. And like, I got huge, and I don't notice when I get huge. I think that all my clothes have shrunk, and all the shops, there's a conspiracy in the shops that they've all started to make really small clothes. Excuse me. Anyway, I digress. But the point of that was they're choices that you can tick off. I'm going to keep that choice in my list of choices for a while, because obviously I want to maintain this body. But they're basically choices that you can tick off. And another favorite one that we have, I choose the end result of an ELF business. And ELF stands for effortless, lucrative, and fun. So form your choice or your goal in the present tense. You should state it as if you already have it. For example, I have the perfect job, which is correct, versus I'm going to get the perfect job. Because that means that you're telling your level of consciousness, I'm always going to be in a state of going to get, in the process of. So those of you who do have choices, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to just sit and connect with the end result of each choice. So step into it as if it's manifested. And again, you might notice that there's an action to take. But even doing this, you're actually creating and strengthening new neural pathways in your brain to make this natural. And if you haven't got your choices yet, you might want to use this time to just think about, what do I want to create in the next 6 to 12 months? What would you love? And a big welcome to the new people on the call today. I don't think I said that. It's fantastic to have you here. And please do remember, it's a journey. You're gonna nail this shortly, and it's gonna keep changing and improving. So just be gentle with yourself. Enjoy the process. All right, so just bring that to a close now. We're going to move on to the next section. we're going to look at your week in review, the last 7 days. What went right? So write down all the things that went right. Feel free to comment in the chat box as well. Everyone in the Facebook group and on Meeting, please share. What went right? You joined this program. Well, thank you. Thank you. I was telling someone, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that when I discovered the advanced element of this work that really was the cherry on the cake for me, as soon as I paid I think it was 10 grand or 15 grand or something, I don't know. As soon as I paid, I think it was, I can't remember, it was 5 grand or something. Anyway, as soon as I paid the deposit, I poured a glass of water over my computer obviously by mistake, and my computer died. And I probably hadn't backed it up in 2 or 3 or 4 days. OMG. It's the day before my birthday as well. And it was just like, okay, wow. Because I was so excited about getting into the program and, doing the work and starting the trainings, because they also had, I think they had coaching. Well, they had a coaching call the day after I signed up. And yeah, I didn't know if my computer was dead forever or not. And it was horrible. But it was just, that's what my ego created for me. And that's an extreme version of how our ego, our self-conscious, can stand in the way. Another way is by finding things confusing and not understanding. That's another. I mean, the ego. We'll look at the beliefs. I think that will be a good one to do. I've got something planned for next week, but the week after actually is to just look at the beliefs and the different strategies that our self-conscious has for keeping us in our stuff, for keeping us small. But yeah, but luckily my computer was okay after many hundreds of pounds. And I was able to, I didn't lose anything, thank goodness. But yeah, it was shocking. I was in tears. Oh my God. Anyway. So, what went right? What went right? You did your lenses every day, amaze balls. Not everyone is commenting, or you're gone quiet. So, what went right? Come on. You learned deep breathing. You became more aware of your identity, your ego. Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? I think what fascinates me, like sometimes I'll get up, and it doesn't happen often, but it happened a few weeks back where I was on holiday and I got up and we went out for breakfast, and I hadn't done my choices. I hadn't, done my morning routine, and it was horrible. Like everything was going wrong, and I just thought, oh my God, I haven't consciously chosen what I want to create today. I haven't told the universe where I'm going, not even so much the universe, but all levels of my consciousness, the super conscious, the unconscious, and self-conscious. I didn't say, this is what I love, this is what I want to create. And then I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to have this coffee and I'm going back, I'm going to do that. And then, I was orientated towards what I wanted to create. And of course the day was magical, but it was just fascinating. I was like, hang on, is this how everyone lives? Is this what we're creating on this world, Oh, that's interesting. I'm dying to find out more about that, the invisible codes. Maybe you mean accessing the field. I love that. Exercising every day, meditation. Well done. You guys are rock stars. You're just super absolute rock stars. So what else? And it's so beautiful when you do share because you're serving everyone else as well. Someone might forget that actually doing their meditation is something that went really right or becoming more aware. Like that's really right. That's powerful. Yeah, that Damon exercise was incredible, wasn't it? Actually, that was a huge something that went right for me this week was remembering that exercise and then sharing it with y'all. That put me so firmly back in my heart. Thank you for sharing, beauties. Love it. All right, so you've got some clarity on what went right. What were the actions that made the biggest difference? What were the actions that made the biggest difference? So just jot a few down. And I'm going to go on to the next question quite soon. So what are the things that you did that like really changed things, that really were quite profound or helped you to create your end results or shifted your focus? Actually, that's a big what helped to shift your focus. Yeah, deep breathing, remembering to breathe consciously. Yeah. So, what were the actions that made the biggest difference? And now, next, where do I need to refocus? And what action will I take to ensure I keep focusing on my end results? These are really, really amazing. Thank you for sharing, everyone. I'm loving, I'm noticing huge shifts, and some of you only joined the programs. Well done. Where do I need to refocus, and what action will I take to ensure I keep focusing on my end results? Yeah, letting the past go, that's a biggie. Future focus. Being in the present moment, but yeah, that's a huge one. Well done. Okay, let's bring that to a close now. All right, now we're going to look at the week ahead. And then before the call finishes, I'm going to take you through the MM method, the respark process, so that you're or connect with your superconscious and clear any resistance in the way. So let's take it. We might run a teeny bit over the hour because I really want to serve you and make sure that we do that process so that your any resistance to creating what you love this week is gone. So, what could I do this week to move towards my end results? What could I do? And these are not things you're committing to. They're not definite. So, just all the things that you could do. What could I do this week to move towards my end results? What could I do this week to move towards my end results? I'll give you another minute. What could I do? If you finish that, you can write down the things you're committing to doing. What do you commit to do? What will I do this week to move towards my end results? All right. So what will? So these are the things you're committing to do the next week. And only you know how much time you have, energy, what you will do. But these are what will I do this week to move towards my end results. And remember that when you commit to doing these things, you're building energy and confidence and belief in yourself when you do them. If you write them down, if you commit to doing things and you do not do them, what are you telling what are the invisible instructions that you're giving your consciousness? Maybe that I'm not someone that follows through, commits. So choose the things you commit to doing. What will I do this week to move towards my end results? And give me a 1 when you've finished that, please. Well done, everyone. I'll give you another minute. And if you're finished, you might want to put your notebooks or whatever aside. I'm going to take you through the respark process. So I'm assuming that everyone here on the call, wherever you're calling in from on Meeting or in the Facebook group, I'm assuming that you have you've watched the introductory training. You wouldn't be here otherwise. So you know, you've all the education, you know about the 3 levels of consciousness and dormant memories, etc. So you are ready and primed for the respark. All right. Right, so bring that to a close, my beauties. I'm going to stop sharing now. So get really comfy into a meditative position, and please give me permission to connect with your superconscious. Just say yes. You can put yes in the chat box wherever you are. So think about one of your choices that you'd love to create. Either choose one of your true choices or one of the orientational choices. I choose the end result of a life I adore. I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. Or I choose the end result of being healthy. Just choose one, or choose one of your true choices if you've created them. And if you've got any questions about your true choices and creating them, obviously, message us, bring it to one of the calls. We're always here to assist. So just choose one. It's important that you just choose one. We want to create that tension of what you want to create and where you are now. And if you're focused on loads and loads of things in this process, it's not as effective. So you want one end result, one choice. So we need to imagine, what would it be like when you've created that? This is the first step in the process. Just step into that end result. Imagine that you've created that end result, like we did with the orientational choices. Just get a full sensory experience of that. I choose the end result of, and it feels like what's happening in your life? How does it feel? Like, who are you? You're the same person. You might have different habits or a different home, different people around you, feel different, have a different outlook, who really get into that end result, experience that. Just notice it. Feels good. Turn up those emotions, all of those good emotions. Turn them up so you're feeling happier, even more aligned, more abundant, more loving. You are love. You're sparkling, you're glowing. Whatever emotions, whatever positive emotions you're feeling as you stepped into this end result, just turn those up. Maybe even turn the color up, volume, the feeling. That's it. Beautiful. Well done, everyone. So that's step one. Now, step two. Where are you now in relation to that? What are the beliefs that come up? I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. Those things are for other people. This shit doesn't work. What are those beliefs? I'm not capable. Comparison. I'm insignificant. I need to stay small. I don't belong. I don't belong in that world of successful business or people that are out there rocking it. Whatever. And how do you finish this sentence? I would love that, but. And what are those negative feelings? What's the internal monkey mind saying? Like, what's that going on? What's that telling you? What are your judgments about this dream? Or people that have this dream, like maybe you want to be overflowing with money, but what judgments do you have about rich people? What do you think you might lose all your friends when you have this end result? Or the people will only want you because of what you have? What are the judgments that you think other people will have about you? Maybe you've got fears about how life might change, that you'll have to work really hard or something. So allow what we're doing now is we're transforming those dormant memories, you know, Carl Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you'll call it fate. We're turning those dormant memories into active memories so that we can respark them, recode them, rewire your brain. So let it all come up. So you've got clarity in what you love, step one. You've got clarity in where you are now, step two. Step three, how much resistance is that? If you could put all of those doubts, all of those fears, all of the worries, everything into a cloud or a bubble or a bag, and 0 is nothing, no resistance, and 10 is the most resistance you can imagine, what number would you give it from 0 to 10? Please tell me in the chat box. How much resistance? 10, 8, 9, 5, quite low. Good. 3, that's very low. 9, 7, 8. Okay, a lot of high numbers today. I really love the high numbers. I love the high numbers. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so you've given me permission to connect with your superconscious. So please close your eyes. And during this process, you might notice, tears might come, you might notice twitching, and that's fine. It's just simply that, changing your internal world. It's a powerful process. So just there's nothing for you to do. I'm going to be giving commands directed to your superconscious. And when I say open your eyes and come back to me, I'm talking to you, okay? But everything else is directed at that superconscious part of you. And your superconscious just wants to create experience. It doesn't care if it's good or bad. It just wants experience. So what we're doing now is we're asking it to go in, and it's kind of like a football field, or almost like a river. If you could imagine a river, let's call it the river of desire. And we're at the top of the river, okay? And all the way down the river, there's all these boulders and blocks and worries and doubts, okay? Blocking the water from getting through down to the sea, to what you'd love. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to just remove those boulders, take them away, so that the river can flow smoothly towards your dreams, so that you can flow smoothly towards your dreams. So superconscious, are you there? Hi, superconscious. Thank you for being with us. So this is for everyone on the call live and on the replay. Superconscious, that metaphor, can you please tag and treat any resistance connected with that metaphor or on or around it? And just noticing the boulders that are there. Sometimes they turn up as an invisible glass ceiling, or a big wall, or a cloud of confusion and fear. Can you please tag and treat and do a massive change history, and everything is needed? Thank you. Just breathing, nice deep breaths. Thank you. Superconscious, we have with family patterns and fears in the DNA from ancestors. It's like a fear of success, and there's a fear of happiness as well. It's like that fear of reaching happiness, and then I won't be able to handle it if that's taken away from me. I've got this real sense that we can see the path to our happiness, to creating what we want. But we're putting blocks in the way. It's like a bird in a cage, and it wants to get out, and the door is open. But there's all these mental constructs. And it's like this kind of solar plexus sense of, if I control myself and stay in this discomfort zone, in my misery, it's horrible, but I know it. And I'm not going to die here. But then outside of that cage is not only a life we adore, but it's actually a life that we haven't even imagined yet. Because that's a few stages along where we can allow ourselves to really imagine what we love. So we've got fears, and this also blocks in the chakras. So with all the body systems, with the family patterns, with the thoughts, the feelings, and the beliefs, and events, past, present, and future. Please tag and treat and do a massive change history, and everything is needed. Thank you, Superconscious. Deep breath, everyone. Deep breaths, plural. And just notice what you notice. Just notice what you notice. Just keep taking the breaths. Okay, well done, everyone. So I'd like you to just come back and report into me. It's just after this first round. What was your first number and where are you now? First number and where are you now? Like 10, 1. 7, 4, good. 8, 0, well done. 10, 3, good. Nice. Well done, everyone. Okay, so give me permission to connect again. We're going to go back in again. So nice deep breathing. Close your eyes. In that really comfortable position. Just focus on the breath. Superconscious, are you there? Hey. So superconscious, we have some residual. There's blame and shame. And there's a belief around trust, not trusting ourselves, not trusting others. And I get this image of, the body is free, but the feet are trapped in blocks of ice. It's like trapped in the ground, and the ground is snowy and iced over, and it's freezing cold and it's miserable. And the body is quite happy, and the body, the voice, the stories are quite happy, rehashing and talking about all that's wrong and why we can't have what we want. And it's because these feet are trapped in the ice, trapped in a quite a, painful but a dense reality. And sometimes the body experiences nice things. The beach, fun, good food. But there's always this sense of being dragged back to the pain. There's that saying by the wonderful, amazing Dr. Joseph Campbell: pain is inherent, but suffering is optional. So these blocks of ice, this feet trapped in the ice. I'm getting really cold as I talk about it. I have to turn the aircon off. This sense of being trapped. It's really interesting because normally this metaphor is around being stuck in a marsh or quicksand, but it's cold, it's blocks of ice, it's trapped, it's like not being able to move, thinking about taking a step, but not being able to, being frozen. So I want you to imagine now that the sun is coming out. And it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's perfect. There's a beautiful light breeze, there's beautiful fluffy white clouds in the sky, and the ice is melting. And what appears are these beautiful daffodils. This warm sunshine is on your face. And then you notice the roses and all the other flowers. And the green grass. Oh, look, when you look down, you've got flip-flops on and your toes are beautifully painted. And you realize that you've always been ready to live in this life you adore. But it's what you've been telling yourself. That different will be painful, that different will be worse. Wherever you go, you take yourself. You're always the same person. You just have more money and more fun and more clients and more fun at work and more great friends. So super conscious, please tag and treat, do a massive change history, and everything's needed around any residual, any resistance around that metaphor. And please, I'm getting the thyroid gland, pituitary, pineal, and those neural pathways re-sparkling, recoding, and rewiring, so all levels of our consciousness are focused on what we love. Thank you. Thank you, super conscious. So please ground all the memories we touched today, including memory 1, the super conscious, memory 2, the unconscious, and memory 3, the self-conscious. Ground them back into the matrix of the universe and all parallel realities. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that was amazeballs. All right, how are you now? How are you now? So let me know the very first number where you started and where you are now. Kind of like this, like a 90, 81. Well done. 30. Good. You started low and you went to 0. That's fantastic. Brilliant. 7-1. Amazing. 8-3. Fabulous. Well done, beauties. I'm so happy. Really, really, really big shifts. Yeah. And it's absolutely normal to still be processing. Be gentle with yourselves. We went a little over, but I really wanted to serve you and share the metaphors and share the respark with you. So go forth and have an amazing week, and not only see you, well, whatever. I know some of you have got different times and dates for your group calls, but you've got the schedule. But we're all back here this time next week. Have an amazing week. I love you so much. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stepping up and all of us creating lives we adore. So we have a fucking world we adore. It's time, isn't it? It's time. Love you, babies. Bye, honeys. Mwah.